So I have this idea that AI is the API to the soul. Throughout our lives, we always crave to be deeply understood, to be deeply known, right? For other people to know about us. And through many different forms of friendship, relationship, we slowly unravel ourselves and become more connected on a deeper level, right? Like when you have a best friend, you guys are super, super deeply connected, but not just where you guys go to school or what you guys do. It's like there's this deep, deep substance in your body that connects you with another person. And that's what you call a deep connection in real life, right? But yet, this kind of understanding usually comes super, super slowly, if at all. Like, it's very rare for something like this to happen, right? And social norms do limit how quickly and actually fully we can understand and reveal our true selves, whether it be. And when I say social norms, I mean, you can't just spew your guts onto someone, right? That's not normal for you to meet someone and be like, oh, here's what I think about politics. Here's what I think about capitalism. Here's how I think about the world, right? You say hi, you say hello, you maybe crack a joke or two, say something about, oh, it's nice to be here. Like, oh, what are you doing here? Who do you know here? And then what do you work on maybe if you're really socially inept or something. Friendship and romance follow a very subtle funnel, right? It starts with an initial spark and it goes to service level chats. And then it gradually grows, deepening trust, like some eventual true intimacy, right? Where it's slow, it's often incomplete, like you don't have all the pieces at any moment. And it's sometimes miraculous, right? Like that you two people are on this earth right next to each other and you somehow find a little node inside each other that connects you two, right? So that's how connection usually works, right? It's a funnel, right? Initial interactions are some sort of performance, this brief audition for deeper connection, right? Real understanding takes months or even years. For example, dating someone deeply it often takes you 6 months before you can really understand that person, right? And then true friendships, even with my friend, let's call him Mike. There's an initial friction when we first met each other. There's this dance you have to play. It's the same with dating. It's the same with getting to know anyone. But you allow slow trust building over time, and over that time, then deep connection is able to be built. But it often relies on a heavy level of convenience and chance, right? But I think AI has this new thing. AI has this new capability where you don't need to trust anyone or anything. You can just spew to your phone over voice and offload your entire context onto something. And not only is it easy to do that now with voice, but you can also gain more value out of it, right? Like ChatGPT actually understands you and knows who you are if you talk to it. And so AI allows for radically changing a new dynamic that offers a richer, a higher bandwidth interface for understanding each other, right? For understanding people. This AI does. And yeah, you can use voice, you can use different emotions, you can use natural conversation, and the computers start to understand it. And typing a detailed bio in a dating app is super awkward and weird, right? But rambling to an AI is no longer that weird. It's pretty normal to do. And AI can turn casual conversations into super profound insights. I think that's another really interesting thing. Is not only does it allow you to dump on it, but there seems to be someone on the other side of that dump, right? When you would go to a therapist, you would dump to her or him because you know that they have some insight or some knowledge or some questioning that's on the other side of it. Otherwise, you would just be talking to a wall and a recorder like that. That doesn't make sense. But AI is able to understand you really well. And so not only is our input of our context, of our knowledge, of ourselves into these things just so much more valuable and so much more worthwhile, it can actually understand you, right? AI understands more about you than some of your best friends could understand about you. Some of your best therapists, some of the best people that you think know you might not be able to make the assumptions or highlight the hidden personality traits that even you just know about, right? Even just the ones that you won't talk about explicitly. Maybe they just surface naturally as you talk to it. And it's just in a very profound way, AI understands us better than we understand ourselves and even better than our closest people understand us. But it has a capability, right? Not only is it good at extracting information out of us, it is good at connecting to things, right? In AI, there's this concept of similarity search, or everything in modern AI architectures are like vectors, right? It's I mean, all machine learning is all like vectors, right? Every single thing is boiled down to an n-dimensional list of numbers, and people are boiled down to this list of numbers, which is like whatever. It can be a bit weird to think about, but it's it allows for this interesting calculation called like similarity search, where you just basically see how close are these two vectors, how similar are these two vectors, and when you're making vectors about people, you can very easily and very quickly find, oh, this person likes this kind of Substack, he eats this kind of diet, and he lives in New York City, right? That is one distinct vector, and it would match exactly with someone else that also lives in New York City, that also has like the keto diet or whatever, and he also listens to or watches like Book Bear Substack, right? These things used to be extremely hard to connect people on, to match on, right? You would, because it was so expensive to match, you would only match on one of them. Like you would only match on like, oh, I live in New York, read like Book Bear Substack, right? Because that's as much as society, our social norms, and our social infrastructure could allow for. But now with AI, that match is easy, and you can be very, very high dimensional, right? Like imagine now, instead of putting a stupid 12-word prompt into Hinge or something, and then you match based on how you guys look or whatever, and the vibe you guys put off on dating apps, which is so feigned, strained, and manufactured. Like, what if you just talked to this AI for 10 minutes a day, and then over time, it just gets to know you, and it knows, like, here's what you think about Republicans. Here's what you think about Kansas, the state. Here's what you think about gardening, right? And with AI now, all those things, you can capture them, you can embed it in a single vector of a person, multiple, whatever, and then you can match it with the exact other person with all the different dimensions about that person. And that's the magic of connection in the realm of AI now, is you can do these massive, massive scale understandings and matchings of people that are very, very niche and very high dimensional, right? Whether it be you read the same obscure blog or do these same obscure hobbies or have very obscure perspectives, these things can now be held within AI. And I think that's really interesting. And so how society currently works is it incentivizes conformity, right? Because finding like-minded people is imperative to your social well-being and to your own mental health, right? If you don't find people you like, if you don't find people you like, you go off the rails, right? Historically, it's been extremely expensive, right? I live in New York City, and I do these hobbies and I read these kinds of things on the internet. How would I go about finding people that think and read and are similar to me? Like, there's no way, right? Reddit probably has our raves, and how crazy it would be if we could only find people that like one single hobby that we like. Imagine going to a rave, and like, do you think you get along with anyone there? Sure, you probably get along with some people there, but that's our current way of matching. That's the current quality of finding like-minded people. And that's crazy, crazy bad and crazy stupid, right? Yeah, historically it's been super expensive. And if you don't fit in, it's super lonely and you just can't live that life. People that don't have social connection just don't live long. They're unhappy and they aren't a functioning member of society. And so throughout history, it's not societally stable to have a ton of weird people that feel alone, right? And so society pushes this conformity on a person just because it's more stable for everyone to get along and be somewhat similar, just so that you can kind of relate with someone else, right? Never really is useful to society to have a bunch of different people that are very different. But what I'm getting at is like AI allows this to kind of break down. You can be extremely weird and you can match with someone else extremely weird. That's kind of what the For You page is, right? Like when you have a sophisticated algorithm like the For You page, there's so many different sub niches of content and media in the world. Now, if you only like consuming content about deep fried, brain rot, Twitch stream memes, you can. That media exists in the world. The media landscape is diverse enough, and we have algorithms that are really good at personalization that can feed that to you, right? That's all powered by machine learning and AI. But you can do the same thing on people, right? Like as soon as you start understanding people and people start uploading themselves enough, like take out the For You page media, right? Take out like TikToks and put in a person. The reason TikTok is so good is because like creation for it is so easy. And in the same way that like AI is not really good at like creating identities of people online. You can, or on like a computer, right? Like you can just talk to ChatGPT and knows everything about you. That like personhood can be transmitted across the world now. So like the same way like a video can be transmitted across the world. The likeness of me, like what I like, who I like to spend time with, what I like to read, and just like how my mind works is like can be totally like transmit to anyone across. Like if like imagine there's a For You page but for people, right? That's the thing. Like the For You page for people will exist and it should exist. And with AI, it can exist. So what happens with this like deep understanding, cost goes to zero, right? Like not only does it cost the computer nearly nothing to understand me, you don't have to pay like some therapist or some advisor like $10,000 like build a profile of you. You just talk to it and then ask it to build a profile. And ChatGPT is free, right? So it can fully understand you. It can fully like build out like really interesting like insights of your personhood. And then also it can match you now. That is magical. It can find the other person with a very similar vector. Maybe it's off by like one or two numbers. Maybe it's off by like the last like 50% of its vectors. But the core things about you are very aligned, right? It can match you now. So like imagine like a math genius in Idaho who loves anime and Counter-Strike, this like shooting game, and he suddenly finds a community instantly, right? Like when could a math nerd from Idaho match with another math nerd from Japan that also loves anime, that also loves like Counter-Strike, right? Like that is such a rare set of similarities, but it now costs nothing with AI. And I think that's profound. Like some like Tarantino film buff in India can discover fellow enthusiasts that also share his Tarantino film passion and also is a mechanical engineer. Like these things are no longer hard to match upon now, and I think that's really really interesting. So I think there's a huge unlock coming with AI and how it's honestly unprecedented how we're going to be able to connect people these days. Yeah, AI is not only good at extracting information from you, it has this way of drawing information out of you because not only is it easy, you can talk to it, it can ask you questions back, and you can gain insight from it because once you talk to ChatGPT for 30 minutes, it really knows you. You can ask, oh, what are my character flaws, or what am I thinking about in the future, or you can even ask it what you think would be a good career for me, and it would be really good. It would be a really good coach. It'd be a really good therapist, right? But it's also really good at connecting. So it's good at extracting, it's good at finding insights on top of that. And then it's really, really good at searching in like the computer science sense of like you have this thing and you want to search for this thing. It is super good at matching those two things. Think the For You page, right? Think if you had a For You page for people where a person is like a TikTok video and it can match with an audience, right? Like the person that you're supposed to know because of machine learning, the super super niche TikTok video that you see on your For You page matches with you and your really really niche interests and desires for video or brain rot whatever, and that's only able to happen because AI. And why didn't this happen before? Right? Why weren't people being connected via AI before? It's because the upload was hard, the interface, the inputs was hard, right? Now you can just talk to AI, and AI can ask you questions back that are good. It can understand you, and you can build experiences and products and real value or real meaningful experiences based on people's context now. So you're going to see a lot more people just dumping all their life story, wide context into these AI products. And then once that happens, you can have these person vectors, you can call it, these profiles of people that AI understands. And because AI is so good at matching via its underlying technical architecture, you will find the exact other person that lives in China, that thinks, breathes, loves, consumes the same exact things you do. And that is a crazy world to live in. The souls are being connected through AI. And this is going to happen over 2 years, 3 years. I don't know, but it's going to happen. And that's kind of awesome. But it's going to happen. And of course, AI has so many different negatives and downsides, and it could actually just ruin everything, right? But if you think on the optimistic side of things, it also has one of the most profound ways of connecting us to each other from the deepest, darkest depths of my soul to some other person's in rural India who happened to become the same kind of person. Somehow we're going to get connected in the next 5 years. And that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy world. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about. AI as the API into the soul, right? It can be used for a lot of bad things, but AI might be the most useful social technology that we've built so far that can help you understand yourself, one, but then also it understands you and is able to connect you to the exact person anywhere in the world that you need to be connected to. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.